Most men believe confidence means saying more, trying harder, and showing more, but that belief is exactly why modern interactions feel chaotic. There's the confused majority stuck in noise, and the few who understand one core principle that quietly changes everything, not a trick, not a tactic, but a foundation, and if you stay until the end, you'll see why those few always move ahead of the rest. 1. Calm is where authority begins. When you feel the urge to react immediately, explaining yourself, defending your position, or proving your worth, that impulse isn't caused by her words. It's caused by internal insecurity. Psychology consistently shows that emotional restraint is perceived as competence and authority. In real life, the calmest person in the room is often assumed to be the one in control. You see this in negotiations, leadership, and crisis situations. Warren Buffett once said that the market transfers money from the impatient to the patient. And human interaction follows the same rule. When you're tested, you don't rush, you pause, breathe, and speak only when your words add weight. Calm doesn't demand attention, it earns trust. 2. Speak only when it matters. If you notice yourself talking just to avoid silence, the discomfort isn't the silence, it's your relationship with it. Research on communication shows that measured speech increases perceived intelligence, while excessive talking reduces it. In every room, the most respected person is rarely the loudest. Steve Jobs was known for long pauses during conversations, and people leaned in because silence created gravity. When you speak with intention, conversations slow down and deepen. You're no longer trying to impress, you're choosing your words with precision. 3. Detachment from outcomes creates strength. When rejection feels heavy, it's usually because your identity is tied to a single outcome. Psychologists describe this as dependence on external validation, and it quietly erodes self-respect. In real life, men who remain unaffected by rejection often become more attractive afterward, because they demonstrate internal stability. Clint Eastwood once said, "Don't let the old man in," referring to fear and ego controlling reactions. When interest isn't returned, you acknowledge it calmly and move on. No resentment, no need to prove anything, just quiet self-trust. 4. Composure under pressure signals leadership. When tension rises, many mistake emotional intensity for strength. Neuroscience shows the opposite. Emotional escalation reduces clarity, while calm preserves authority. In courtrooms, judges rarely raise their voices, yet everyone listens. Marcus Aurelius wrote that you have power over your mind, not external events, and that truth reveals itself under pressure. Instead of matching emotion with emotion, you lower the temperature. Your composure doesn't avoid conflict, it reframes it. 5. Presence is more powerful than charm. When someone begins to open up, it's rarely because of what you said, it's because you were fully present. Psychological studies show that feeling heard creates emotional connection faster than humor or charisma. In a distracted world, attention has become rare currency. Oprah Winfrey is often described as magnetic not because she dominates conversations, but because she listens completely. When you maintain eye contact and respond thoughtfully, you communicate respect without announcing it, and that changes the entire dynamic. 6. The body speaks before words. Before a single word is processed, posture and movement shape perception. Research on nonverbal communication shows that slow, deliberate movements are associated with confidence and leadership, while rushed gestures signal anxiety. Military discipline begins with stance for a reason. Bruce Lee once said, "Don't tense up, stay calm and fluid," and that principle extends far beyond combat. When you stand tall, move with intention, and hold steady eye contact, you don't need to dominate space, you simply occupy it fully. 7. Emotional control is quiet power. Emotions are signals, not commands. When they surge, the urge to react feels urgent. But urgency is rarely wisdom. Cognitive psychology shows that emotional regulation predicts long-term success more reliably than raw intelligence. In real life, people trust those who remain steady during uncertainty. Nelson Mandela spoke about mastering fear not by eliminating it, but by refusing to let it dictate action. When drama appears, you don't absorb it, you observe it. That restraint is felt as strength. 8. Depth creates connection. When conversations suddenly feel meaningful, It's usually because you've moved beyond surface-level questions. Humans connect through meaning, not information. Questions about values, motivations, and long-held ambitions activate deeper emotional processing. Therapists rely on this principle to build trust quickly. And it works the same way socially. Carl Jung believed that the meeting of two personalities is like a chemical reaction. And depth is what allows that reaction to occur. When you ask with genuine curiosity and listen without agenda, the interaction becomes memorable without effort. 9. Confidence without ego endures. When someone feels the need to advertise their value, it's often because they're uncertain of it. Social psychology shows that quiet confidence is perceived as more authentic than self-promotion. In real life, the most respected individuals rarely announce their achievements. Leonardo DiCaprio once said he lets his work speak for him. And that mindset is visible in presence. You don't diminish yourself, but you also don't push yourself forward. Consistency does the talking. 10. Leaving at the right moment matters. When you sense the energy has peaked, extending the moment weakens it. Memory research shows that people remember endings more vividly than beginnings. In real life, those who exit at the right time leave stronger impressions than those who overstay. Frank Sinatra was known for leaving rooms early, preserving mystery without effort. When you end interactions calmly and confidently, you leave space, and space is where curiosity grows. The man who controls his emotions controls the room. If you found this video useful, subscribe to Silent Stoic, so each day you become stronger and more composed. Which principle stayed with you the most? Leave a comment below.